All right, good morning. Okay, I am so excited about this training today. We are talking about Reels and Reels on Instagram specifically, but I want to bring up that anything that you are creating, you can actually use on multiple platforms. So even though you're creating this on Instagram, you can put this over into Facebook. You can put it as a short on YouTube. You can use it on TikTok. Any of those other places where you've seen short little video clips, that's what a reel is. And so I just want to clarify, as far as reels, repurpose your content. Don't just create a reel for Instagram and then not use it somewhere else. But what we're going to talk about are a few things you need to do before you even dive into reels. So the very first thing you need to do is make sure that your Instagram account is set up as a professional account. So I know some people, as you're starting out, you have not set up your account as a professional account. That's okay. The reason that you need to change it, though, right now with me, I'm going to walk you through it, is because you will not get the information that you need, and you also won't get the help from Instagram if you're not set up as a professional account. So when they think that you are just on there to share, your kids' pictures and maybe a visit family reunion or something like that, they're not going to help you to grow your account, because a personal account, they figure that you're just using that to share with family and friends. Like, you're okay that there's only 142 people that are following you, and you're only following, however many people you are, and you're just there more as a casual sharer and more as a consumer, is basically what they look at you as. And so what we want is the help from Instagram to go ahead and give us some of the insight that we want with our followers, not only with the content we're creating, but also with what's reaching them, what's working, what's not. You get all of that when you switch to a professional account. So what you're going to do, and if you're driving, please don't do this, but watch the replay later. But what you're going to do is just go to your account right here, and you're going to see up in the top corner, there's going to be the hamburger, the little hamburger button. That's what I call it. It looks like the three little lines. So tap on that and go to settings and privacy. It's the very first thing that comes up on the drop down menu. Then if you scroll down, you will see you're going to go pretty much near the bottom. Scroll all the way to the bottom, and you can see on here, like, it's going to give you the red, like, log out of this account. Right above that, up in this area, you're going to see account type and tools. So tap on that, and you're going to see switch to professional account. Tap on that and go through what it's asking you to do. So it's going to ask you a couple of questions of what is this? Is this a business? Is this a I'm not sure all the questions, but anyway, it's got a couple different questions in there about what a little bit about you and what is it that your business helps. If you're a business, it'll ask you categories and things like that. So once you have set up all of that, what's going to happen is you're going to have a professional dashboard. So I'm switching account right now over to this one so you guys can kind of see. You'll see from now on, you'll see this professional dashboard on your account from now on. Okay. That's what we want. We want to have the professional dashboard on there. And so if you click on that, once you've set it up, so go through, set up your professional account. If you click on that, you're not going to have any insights yet. You're not going to have any real trends. You're not going to have any of that on there yet, because you haven't started creating as a professional. So once you do, give it 30 days, give it this month, that you're going to start creating reels. You're going to start even just doing your regular posting, all the stuff you've regularly been doing. And then all of a sudden, you are going to see insight and data. You're going to see this kind of thing popping up. And what you're going to see is, how many accounts you've reached. And like on this right here, 264. So we're just in June 5th, 264 of the people that I've reached in just this month are not followers of mine currently. And so that's good. You want to be reaching people that aren't following you right at this moment. We want to be that, this is where we're reaching out, we're expanding that circle. So you can't tell that if you're on a personal account. So that's why I'm saying switch over to a professional account, and then you're going to get all of this insight and all of this data. And then the best thing though about this is at the very bottom, if you scroll down on this, you're going to get a little beautiful thing that says real trends right here. You will not get that, like I said, until you have, number one, created a professional account, number two, made some reels under your professional account, and give it like 30 days. So the algorithm has to see that you are creating reels, that you are posting things on Instagram and using it as a business. Once you do, they're going to start rewarding you, and they're going to start helping you with some information on the real trends. It gives you trending audio. It gives you trending hashtags you can use. And so are all of those going to fit in our niche? Not necessarily, but it's going to be really, really good for you to be able to use that insight as you're creating these tools. Another side to this that is really, really good, and I don't know how many people are using this, but if you have a Facebook page, you don't have to have a Facebook page. I'm not saying you have to set one up. I personally, actually, unless you have already set one up and had one going for a while, I wouldn't create a new Facebook page. I would just link your Instagram account to your personal profile on Facebook, because that's where your people are. If you have a Facebook page that you've been using for a business and you've got a lot of followers over there, that's great. You can connect the two that way. But if you please don't set up a Facebook page. Your people are not there. Your people, you're going to have to try and drag people over there to get them to see your content. The easiest thing is going to be to link your Instagram account that you just made as a professional account. So you can get all that data and insight. Doesn't change a single thing of you being able to share everything from this professional account now over to your personal profile on Facebook, because your people are already there on Facebook. You've already been sharing with them. They've already been following you for, 20 years. They love you. And so they want to see what you're doing on Instagram. Even if they already follow you on Instagram, it doesn't matter. Just share it back and forth. So you're sharing the same stuff on both Facebook and Instagram. Do one thing, get double the impact. But like I said, it does give you the ability to link lots of ways. And then once you have this set up, you can actually, whether sharing it to a personal profile or something else, you can actually go into the Meta Business Suite and you can start to schedule things. You can start to answer your messages on both Instagram and Facebook at the same time. So you don't have to log into both. So if you're more of a desktop-y kind of person, then you can use that as a tool now that you have a professional dashboard also. So it opens a little bit more room for you to be able to work your business how you want to. Like if you're on your computer and you're like, oh, I want to post this, you can post that to both platforms through the business suite. And it can be on both sides of that, or you can be posting back and forth to both platforms just on your phone if they're linked. So anyway, it just gives you a lot more freedom. Make sure that you have linked. If you have not linked your Facebook profile to your Instagram account, link them. Please link them. You want people to be able to see and find you at both places. Make it really easy for people to get that information at both places, and for everything you do on Instagram to be shared to Facebook, so you get double impact. Okay, so that's the first thing. All right, so we've got our professional account set up. We are going to be able to be consistent. That is the number one key, is be consistent. And I think that's across the board in our business, but really and truly, especially with social media, Instagram, Facebook, they want you to be consistent. Show up. That's what they need. They need, honestly, here's the thing. If you think about Instagram as a business from their point of view, they need creators. They need content creators, because we're all consumers. Even if you're a creator, you're still consuming. And there's so many consumers that they are lacking on enough content and fresh content to feed the masses. So think of it that way, as I am actually helping them by creating content. So they're going to reward me and push my information out to other people. So the way they do that, the way they've set that up, is Reels. So if you want to be pushed in front of new people, a new audience, you need to create Reels. Your static posts that you're putting information out, or your lives, or sharing on your stories, that is to nurture the people you already have. That's to nurture those that are already there, that have already followed you. They want to know information, and that's important, super, super important. But if you want to grow your Instagram account and you want to grow your reach on, sharing the things that you're already sharing with people, you have to make Reels. Because Reels, if you look in the explore section, Reels are the majority of what's on there. It's Reels. They want things that people are liking, that they're sharing, that they're commenting, and that's what they put in the explore section. They also do it by knowing what we are all consuming. So as you consume content, as you like something, as you share something, Instagram and Facebook, it's one and the same, owned by the same thing. But as you do that on either platform, what they're doing is collecting data on, oh, Jen, she likes recipes. She likes recipes where, they're decorating all the cakes or whatever, and they're like the cookie decorating. Guess what's if you like, and you're really into that, like you've got a birthday coming up or something, and you're like searching that out, you go and notice on your explore feed, that's all that's going to be on your explore feed. Like they're going to have maybe one or two random things in there, but they're going to notice and be like, oh man, she is super into this. Like we're going to give her every single bit of that. So what we want to do is the second most important thing, which is niching down. So what does that mean for our business? That means that we need to think about, I know a lot of times we think, oh, I just help everyone to live a healthier life, or I help everyone to have, living active products, that instead of, dead products, that they need living active products on their skin. Okay, that's great, except that's too general. You need to niche down. And what I will tell you about niching down in this business is brand yourself. Niche down yourself, because it's not about presenting yourself as herbal alchemy or an herbal alchemist. That's not what I want you to do. If you notice on any of my branding, for my herbal alchemy business, I've branded myself as Clean Living Coach, the Clean Living Coach. And so I am not branding myself as an herbal alchemist. I talk about herbal alchemy. I share herbal alchemy products, and I share all of those things, but I'm not branding myself as an herbal alchemist, because that's not making you unique. You want the things you share and your branding to be something that people are going to see as different. Does that mean you can't use any of the corporate stuff or any of the other, videos or images? No, absolutely use it. Just use it on brand with you and your specific focus. So when I'm talking about niching and when I'm talking about your focus and branding you, it's the same thing we kind of talk about when we say, what is your why? What I want you to do is get to your 7 levels deep of your why. Why are you doing this? And then talk to that one person that you're getting down to those levels, so that you're so focused on this tiny little group of people that's what your content is created around. So give me a thumbs up if we're all on board here. Okay. And then what we want to do with this, though, with Reels, is think of, first you have to niche down super, super, tight. So if we're niching down from just clean living or things like that, for me, it is, I've niched down to those people that are looking to make the first steps in their clean living journey. Like they're making like the first simple steps. And that's who I talk to, is basically myself 10 years ago or 15 years ago, it was about 10 years ago. But I mean, even 15 years ago, when I was just kind of like, I started with like my co-parenting journey, not co-parenting, attachment parenting. I'm like, wait a second, that didn't sound right. Like I have co-parented with my husband this whole time, but I'm like attachment parenting. And so, but it moved into, you know, non-toxic, all of that kind of stuff. And so think about who you're serving, and it can be yourself 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago. It can be you, but think about who that is specifically. And then what I want you to do is think about the edges of where those people are. So there's going to be this nucleus of people that you want to talk to in your niche. And now I want you to think about in a reel only. So all of your regular content can be to this nucleus. That's great. Talk to them. Just give them, you know, if you're talking to women who have had infertility problems, maybe that's who your niche is. You want to talk to women who have had, because you've gone through that, women who have had infertility problems because of all of the toxins. And so you're helping them to have cleaner products, to detox and have better fertility. Okay. That is your nucleus. That is your people right here, that most of your content is going to be to. But who you're going to talk to in a reel is going to be this kind of like out from that. And you're going to talk to, in a reel, you would do more of a focus on who's going to be on the outskirts of that. Maybe someone that doesn't realize that their infertility journey is linked to some of the birth control they've taken, or the toxins that, you know, they've been putting in their body, or things like that. So your reel is going to be based on, you know, three things that might be keeping, three things that might be leading to your infertility. Oh, that's a good one. Someone should do that. But I mean, so that's the kind of stuff. So is that making sense? Is that kind of gelling together? Like you're serving those people like that are already there, but you're real. You want to make people aware. You want to help them to understand like, hey, these three things might be leading to your infertility. They might not be looking at non-toxic stuff at all, but if they have suffered with infertility issues, then they'll be on a journey. They're on the edge. They're on that cusp. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's who we want to talk to. All right. So really quick, because I'm already at 20 minutes. Holy cow. How does it go by so fast? I'm going to take like 5 more minutes and tell you guys like the 3 important things you need to do when you're making a reel. So number 1, you want to have trending audio. So you are going to, at this point in time, just go into your audio, or even as you go and you are watching other people's reels, click on their audio. And what I want you to look at is, number 1, how many people have used it already? If over 15,000 people have used it, then skip that audio. It's kind of already trended. It's kind of already run its course. You want to look for under 15,000, and you also want to look and see that the very first reel that someone made went viral. It was over 1 million people viewed it. So those are the 2 things you kind of want to look for trending audio. Okay. So here's the key though. If you want to do a voiceover on your reel, you still use trending audio. So what you're going to do is have your original audio of your voiceover on your reel, but you're going to add trending audio, and then on your controls, you're going to turn down the audio you just added, the trending audio, and you're going to turn up your original volume on yours so that you actually still have that trending audio as a track that's playing, and that's what's going to show up on, so that you're pushed onto all of that, the push for that audio, and the Instagram is going to push your reel out because it's in that trending audio file, but you're actually going to have your own audio on top of it. So, and it's honestly, you can go and look up like really quick little tutorials on that, but it's just about the controls. So there is a way to add that so that you can still have that on there. So you want trending audio. You want to have a hook, and it needs to be visible, typed out on your reel. People need to be able to see it. So type out a hook. Like I just said, 3 things or 2 things or 1 thing one thing that might be adding to your infertility, journey, or one thing that can make you infertile, something like that. If that is your outer edge niche of your niche, one thing or two things that people are going to be like, it's going to stop their scroll. And you need that to be on, not only on your reel as it starts, but you need to be on your cover photo. So it's going to ask you if you want to add a different cover image. Yes, always add a different cover image and make sure you make one in Canva. Make sure that your hook is on it, and also make sure that you're not using a flowery font. Use plain fonts that are readable. Make sure that people, as they're scrolling, you have about 1.5, maybe 2 seconds to catch someone's interest. Your flowery, scrolly fonts are not going to do it because they're not going to be able to read it. So you want it to be bold. You want it to be very, very legible. Make sure that it is on the cover photo, like we said. Make sure that it is on the first of the reel. So no matter if Instagram is catching the still image of it, or if they're catching it in the very first, that people can see what it is. Okay. Keep it short. Keep it 7 seconds or less, because that's going to make it so that people have to watch it again. And anytime somebody watches a reel 2 or 3 times, guess what that tells the algorithm? This is something they wanted to keep watching. So if you keep it short, it is actually a strategy to have them watch it over, because they probably didn't get to catch every single thing that you said in there, and it's typed out and they're trying to read. And so they're like, oh, I got to watch that again. I got to watch that again to read that. And then maybe I watched it a 3rd time so I could take a screenshot of it, whatever. They're going to be watching it over and over and over. And then let's see, what was the last part? And then you can have, make sure that you have a caption also that is giving them a call to action. So giving them, save, share, whatever is that you want them to do. So in a nutshell, there we go. That's what it is. And that's like the formula for a viral reel. Oh, and the other thing is, don't worry if it's in the first couple days, week, that you are not seeing like this huge trend of people watching or any of that. Viral reels, it can sometimes take 2-3 weeks, sometimes a month, and before you start to see the full impact of the reel and the outreach that's going on. So I did have a reel back in the summer that I had put out, and it was just how you cut a pepper, because I learned how to cut a pepper differently, and it was so fun and cool to me, and I could not believe that. To me, it went viral because it was over 20,000 views, and I was like, and most of them were not my own people, and I was like, what in the world? This is crazy. Like how did that happen all of a sudden? And I didn't do any of these things. I didn't know any of this stuff. But what I did is I made a mistake because I'll show you guys the reel. Can you see? You can't see my thing. Come on. So it's me cutting this pepper. I actually did it twice. I should have only done it 1 time. But I was like, oh, I hate it when you can't see what someone's doing. And so I did it. I added the clip twice. Now I know that was a mistake. It still was good. It still had lots of people viewing it, but that was a mistake. Keep it short so they have to keep watching it. That's part of the strategy. Anyway, and that happened just as a fluke. But what I'm saying is keep doing it. Instagram is going to reward you. That was actually, though, I will tell you this, that reel I had posted consistently for 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks before that, of not only reels, but my static posts and things like that. And so I had primed basically my account of, they were looking and going, okay, she's using this, she's using this, she's using this, and then they reward you. So it's really just a matter of thinking of who you want to serve, and then using some of these strategic tips. I will give you this one warning, and then we'll jump off because I don't want to go over 30 minutes. But do not create content that is outside of this niche and your outer edge that you are trying to serve. The reason I'm saying that is that pepper one, great. That kind of goes along with like clean, healthy living, all that kind of stuff. But don't go and create, like, I'm not going to go and create a cookie decorating reel, because that is not my, that's not my niche. That's not my content. And that's, I mean, even if it's good, even if it goes viral, those aren't my people that I necessarily want to have following me. Those people would take a long time probably to want what I am serving and what I'm giving. And so, I mean, some of them might, and that would be okay. But I want to create content that is going to give me prime people that are already in my niche or on those outer edges, like we said. Because the worst thing is if you have a reel go viral and it's not in your niche, and then you're having people that have, you know, now you've got followers that are following you, but they're not staying with you because it's not something that they're actually interested in. And then you're frustrated. You're like, oh, why in the world, like, this didn't work? This isn't happening. So that's why I'm saying, be careful of what you're creating, and don't just go and look at like, oh, this is popular for, you know, someone else to do. Let them do that. You stick to where you want to be, your why, your, you know, individual people that you're serving, and then create your reels on the outer edge of that. Okay, any questions really quick before we jump off?
Really quick, I guess, just to recap or to add to someone who's watching this later, is if they have a personal account, should they create a brand new Instagram? Like I have mine, which is my personal name and information, but I use it for my daughters and when I do other things. And so I'm thinking I might just create one that is mine's Go Natural Jennifer, just to create that. And then that is all, because I do want to attract people just for my business, for recruiting my business to my business, and then recruit and customers.
Yeah. Okay, so that's like the age-old question, right? Like, do I create a new account? My advice always is no, because your followers that are already there want to know about you and your life and everything you're doing in your business too. So that they are your prime people also. And you sharing about your kids is good. You want to be well-rounded. I'm not saying just share this, you know, only this content of, you know, who your niche is and who you're speaking to. What I'm saying is make sure that that is the majority of your content. But absolutely, people want to see you as a well-rounded person. Share your kids stuff, share your
So like the 5 things that we've talked about when we were at one of the conferences of like, so 5 things. So I love obviously our herbal alchemy business.
Yes.
I love my kids. I like, you know, cocktails, you know, like, or whatever, coffee and travel. So it's like my 5 things.
Yes. What the reason I say no is because what will happen is, unless you're really, really on top of it, you're going to get burnt out managing 2 accounts and trying to be like, oh, I've got to create for my business. That's not really fun to like, be like, I've got to go and create for my business. You know, it becomes a job, it becomes work instead of what it always had been, which was fun and a passion. And just, I love this and I want to serve people. So whenever we take something and we pull it to, this has to be my business, this is my work, this is my whatever, and it's for me too, it's not like, it's all of us, and it loses some of that fun or that you know, just the intrigue that it had before. Then it can become difficult, and then are you going to do it? You know, so that's my biggest thing is, are you, make it the most simple that you can, because that's what you're going to do. If you have one account and it's one Instagram account, you share all of your goodness there because that's who you are. You're a well-rounded person and you're sharing everything, and you want people, and honestly, you want people that are going to love all the parts of you. Like, do you want business partners that are going to work with you and be like totally out here in like even their political views or whatever? Probably not. I mean, you can, but you're going to get along more with people that are going to align with you. And so let people see that. That's okay. It's okay for us to repel certain people. And it's because all that's going to do is attract the right people to us. So that's what I think, that there is a stigma of, I'll set up a business account, and I've gone through this thought process myself before. I'll set up a business account and then I'll be perfect on that account. It'll just be like the perfect, it will be like the Herbal Alchemy Homestead account. And what I'm telling you is people want more connection, especially as we move into an area of life where they have all of this AI content. Um, um, they're going to want connection. They're going to want to see your face. They're going to see that you're passionate about these things. They're going to want to know that this is who I'm working with, is Jen, and she's amazing. And she is, she loves natural products, and she also has a passion for her kids, and, all of these things about you. That's what's going to make you different and make you stand out from the other clean living or herbal alchemist or, holistic wellness or whatever it is that you're branding yourself as. So that's why I say no, don't do it. So anyone else who's watching, if you have that question, should I set this up? I personally say no. Keep it as simple as possible. Make it as easy as possible for yourself. Don't create extra steps, because all that does is create extra in your mind. Literally, it creates extra walls that now you're going to make excuses to have to jump over to actually work your business. So if we can keep it as simple as possible and create as few walls and barriers for our mind to cross, because that's most of what our issue is in our business, is a mind game of holding us back. So if we can knock all those down and create a super simple, like, no, this is fun. This is fun. And really, think of Reels as a game. It's a game. That's all it is. It is a game of how can I'm going to play a game and see if I can, have this one go 10 more, people than the last one. Just think of it as a game, and that will make it so much better too. And the insight, if you don't have a lot of people liking or sharing or things like that, all they're doing is giving you feedback. So think of it that way too. Oh, awesome. Okay. That one didn't get as many likes and shares. Okay. Let's look at, something else, try something else and see if that gets more likes and shares. So think of it truly as a game, as, you're just getting better at a game of social media and Instagram. So Julie, did you have something you wanted to ask too?
I do. So if you make a reel, do you also think it's useful to post it to your stories and give them the option to visit the link, or I don't know?
Absolutely, girl. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So what you want to do, especially with a reel like we have just been talking about, what you want to do is go live on your stories before and kind of prep it, because just going and sharing, which I just did, and I just learned this tip actually of going live and talking about your reel that you just created. But if we just post a link to it, sometimes people view it, sometimes they look at it, our own followers, that's nurturing our own people, right? But a lot of times, if you will go live before or do a little info before and say, I have just remembered those days when I was so sad. I was trying so hard to, get this baby here. And I just, every single time we just, negative pregnancy test, whatever it is, you're telling that story and just saying, it was such a heartbreaking time and I don't want anyone else to go through that. And so here's a tip that I learned that turned everything around for me. Cut off your live, post your reel. People are going to watch that. People are going to be like, what did she do? What was it? And then if you want even more engagement and this is how you use that reel to nurture your own people. So you made the reel so that Instagram will help you to pull in new people. You're sharing it on your stories, and you just went live on your stories to nurture your current followers. And so now your current followers, are more invested in, you know, oh, I just heard more of her story, and now they're watching your reel, helping you to get that pushed out to more people that don't follow you. Now you can either post or go live again and just tell maybe a little bit more of your story. And, you know, I know you guys watched that reel. It was so helpful. If you didn't catch it, go ahead and just click back. You can see, you know, or it's in my feed. So don't say what's in your reel when you talk about it again, because you still want people to go and look at it. But you can talk a little bit more about that journey. You know, you can talk a little bit more, or if it's a recipe that you shared, or, you know, whatever that's in the reel, talk about that more. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have people now, they've got a reason to watch it. And after, you're sharing a little bit more. So if they didn't watch it before, now they're going to click back and watch it, or go and find it in your feed. And always post your reels. I know there's a reels area. Always post it to your feed too. Don't make it hard for people to find your reels. Put all of your feed, like we were just saying about your accounts, put all of your feed, your static posts, your lives, your reels, all, you'll have a little toggle that says post to your feed also. Yes, toggle that. So, okay, hopefully this is helpful. There's so much more, you guys, about reels, but this is a little bite-sized nugget that hopefully will help everybody and get us going with reels.
Really quick, we'll try to do maybe a real, like, I don't know, maybe, you know, and maybe you're seeing these on the phones, but like to do, like, how do you do a reel? Where do you get the images and how you post them? Maybe we'll do that offline and we'll post it on our YouTube channel. So, or we can find one of the easiest ones. That's a great video that illustrates how to do step-by-step of posting the actual reel once you've got your content together. So if that's helpful, let us know. And we'll try to see if we can kind of pull together with that. Great job, Samantha.
Thank
Awesome.
you. Thank you guys. All right. Have a good
Have a
day.
good one. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.